Today is a very special and milestone day in our strong movement. One of the very senior disciples of Srila Gopal, whom you all know, left this material world to go to the spiritual world in a place called Gopal, in the eternal shelter of Lord Krishna. We've been celebrating actually his departure to the spiritual world because actually it's an occasion for celebration because a pure devotee has gone back to Lord Krishna who had actually sent him here to help us all. So we had a program today starting at 1 p.m. and we've been doing kirtan, we've been doing honoring. Many people have spoken in honor of him. And we're going to continue with that program for the next 45 minutes. So you'll hear some videos where senior devotees are honoring him, and you'll hear some senior devotees right here in this temple will come up and speak their feelings about this particular devotee. This devotee is His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He happens to be my spiritual master as well, so I have a very special connection with him. And there are many disciples of Gopal Krishna Maharaj here today, and we are all feeling very sad, of course, but very vulnerable also, because that's our spiritual father we have lost today. And we are all feeling like orphans with really life was very hard to process, so I don't want to get into too much detail because I'll get emotional. But we're asking you all to pray for us, for all of us, that we can bear this shock and continue to honor his appearance here in this material world by following his instructions and by following his example, because he's an acharya, which means he lived by example and he taught us by example. So we're going to get started with the program, and I'm going to ask to start the video in just 1 minute. And I just want to say a few words about Maharaj. He took his initiation on June 1st, 1968 in Montreal, where he met Gopal. Gopal had come there. He stayed in Montreal for 3 months. Gopal stayed there, got his initiation with him. He got his sannyas initiation in 1981. In 1983, he became Guru. And I had the pleasure of meeting him in 1984, so I've known him for almost 40 years. And he has been the GBC of International Governing Body Council for Canada, for Russia, for many cities in India, and a few other countries as well. Nairobi, Kenya, for example. And he's been serving Srila Prabhupada since 1968. He is known as Prabhupada's man, and the video you're about to see is actually going to talk about that.
Casually asked one of my friends, is there a Hindu temple in Montreal? So I went to the Montreal temple and I took part in the Sunday program. And in May 68, I received a letter. Our Swamiji is coming to Montreal on June 4, 68. Please come and meet him. The fourth assignment the temple president gave me was to clean Prabhupada's apartment. So I had the privilege of meeting Prabhupada on June 1st, 1968. I had almost no exposure to southern India. I could see that Prabhupada was a genuine saint. Before I came, there was almost no book production in India. And Prabhupada told me to start the book production. I had arranged a very big book display of Prabhupada books in a very big book house. And after 1 month, not many books were sold. So I went to Prabhupada to give him a report. And Prabhupada said, my books are sold because of the enthusiasm of my disciples. And in a store, nobody is enthusiastic. That's why. So we have seen that the devotees are enthusiastic. They achieve outstanding results. Went to Vajpayee. And when I came back and gave Prabhupada the report, Prabhupada said, one day this man will become more important. He'll hold a very important position. And a few years later, he became the Prime Minister of India.
समाज के स्वास्थ्य को लेकर हम लोग विचारशील हैं क्योंकि बढ़ती उम्र के साथ स्वाभाविक मांसपेशियों का कमजोर, शरीर का थोड़ा झुकाव और आवाज़ थोड़ा नर्म होता है।
तो पिता ने प्रहलाद को एक स्कूल में डाला था।
हमने बहुत बार गुरुमाज से रिक्वेस्ट किया गुरुमाज कार्य प्रणाली थोड़ा स्लो होना चाहिए, लेकिन गुरुमाज का हमेशा से एक ही उत्तर रहा कि मैं प्रभुपाद का शुभदेव हूँ, मैंने प्रभुपाद से ऐसे ही सीखा है और मैं हमेशा ऐसे ही करता हूँ।
Prabhupada was always concerned about preaching, and even when he wasn't physically well, he did not stop his preaching. And as we know in Vrindavan, when he wasn't physically well, he had somebody helping him sit down. He was virtually whispering the purpose. So we should also cultivate a similar mood. Prabhupada is always right. We should know that.
Thank you. I'm a soldier of Srila Prabhupada. He was fond of saying that because For the last many years, they have been in very poor health. Heart attacks, Parkinson's disease, and so many other ailments. And you could see that he can barely walk, he had no energy, but he will continuously travel, not just in India, but internationally also, all over the States and Toronto, etc. And we were concerned about him. We said, Maharaj, please take some rest. And that's what he will say every time. I'm a soldier, but let me die in the battlefield. And that's what he did. He gone to Dehradun for the Bhumi Puja, the opening ceremony, groundbreaking ceremony of temple in Dehradun. And that's where this accident happened. And he went back to the spiritual world. So I have a offering here by GBC Executive Committee. Just those of you who don't know what GBC is Governing Body Commission, is the management arm of the scholar. So we all follow their guidelines, and they essentially, manage this body of the scholar. And in that, there is an executive committee of 3 senior devotees, and there is a message from them that I want to share with you today. So this is the message. Dear Maharaj'S and Prabhus, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Shiva Prabhu. This morning at 9:20 a.m. IST, His Holiness Gopal Goswami, one of the senior most disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, departed from this world. Maharaj is a pillar of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and has served tirelessly in practically every leadership capacity to support and expand the mission of his spiritual gospel. Even before his first meeting with Srila Prabhupada in Montreal, Canada in 1968, Maharaj, known as Gopal Krishna, from his very birth, was given the service of cleaning and preparing Srila Prabhupada's rooms for his arrival. Since then, Maharaj had literally and figuratively dedicated his life to keeping Srila Prabhupada's house in order. Srila Prabhupada immediately took great interest in the thoughtful young Indian man who sat attentively through every lecture, and they soon began regular correspondence. Soon thereafter, Srila Prabhupada initiated Maharaj as Gopal Krishna Das, and thus began a lifetime of service beyond compare. Maharaj served for years as Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary and was appointed by Srila Prabhupada as a governing body commissioner in 1975 with responsibility to oversee all of ISKCON India. Srila Prabhupada thereafter entrusted Maharaj with the task so dear to his heart, the printing of his transcendental books. From that time, Maharaj has been an emblem of book distribution, sharing of Krishna consciousness, building beautiful temples, and managing the international affairs of Srila Prabhupada's mission, all the while remaining a gentle, humble Vaishnava who always has a moment to encourage others with a genuine care and affection. In addition, Maharaj's sadhana is impeccable. Often on the temple altar, offering Mangal Aarti with deities before completing the morning program, taking a japa walk, and then worshipping his own deities prior to commencing a full day of dynamic service. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj personifies all that is at the heart of ISKCON and will remain eternally revered and loved for his matchless service, dedication, and expertise in knowing and serving Srila Prabhupada's Lord. We can only pray that we may each be blessed with but a drop of such courage, focus, and sincerity to serve, though never will the void of his physical presence be filled in our hearts or in our society. Our hearts and heads remain at the feet of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, a most exemplary disciple, devotee, godbrother, spiritual master, and friend. Maharaj has always encouraged us to work together, cooperatively, to support and assist each other in Srila Prabhupada's service. In that mode of service, we offer our affectionate prayers and support to Maharaj's disciples and all those bereft in Maharaj's absence. We encourage you to take shelter of Maharaj's instructions, an example of focused sadhana and service in association of ISKCON. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. In service, Guru Prasad Swami, Tapan Krishna Das, Govardhan Das, the GBC Executive Committee. So with that, our own His Holiness Gopal, His Holiness Bhaktivan Swami has sent an offering by beautiful because he's in New Vrindavan right now. He couldn't come to Toronto. They sent a video offering that who can play now. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to offer some reflections on His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, whom I've known for some decades, and he came to assist us in Canada in a sort of dynamic as a governing body commissioner for Canada. And at the time he was a Grihasta, he was a family person, and he was based out of India. But he'd come to visit us regularly in Canada and give us direction, help, support in different ways. What impressed me is that, well, he was a Grihasta, and he could still be a leader in a religious organization. He first joined Prabhupada's mission back in '68, and in the poem that I just wrote about him, he gave us let's say, a directive, and that is when someone comes to visit you at the temple for darshan, seeing the Lord, or for wisdom, somebody's on a search for the absolute truth, prasad or good company, then it's a good idea to ask them to leave with information and to sign the guest book. And because the guest book was, filled in by him, he wrote on his line his name and with his phone number, he received a call that the spiritual master of the Hare Krishna movement is coming, Srila Prabhupada. So he was excited about that, and he was happy to receive the call. And that from that point on, his life was very different. Prabhupada, let's say, did some magic on him. And the beauty of persons like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj is that he was born into the culture. And it took some time to get educated and so on like that. But once he made contact with the movement and with Srila Prabhupada, he kind of dove deep in. And once he made his mind up, he never looked back. I can say that of the many people I know who have commitments to this movement, it's very hard to find someone like him who's really a Prabhupada man. Through thick and thin, and I know he's gone through challenges like most of us have. He just plows through and does what he's supposed to do. In that regard, he was a very dharmic person. And personally, for me, he honored me with the third initiation, which is the sannyas initiation in 1984. So he's been a blessing. He's done a lot of great things for the world, we could say. He opened up many centers and helped a lot of people who were all struggling. And he gives us some hope by his diligence, by his regularity, by his strong loyalty and commitment, and good counsel, good directions. He was Shastra. He was very much by the book, for the book. The Bhagavad Gita and all the Vedic literatures, everything Prabhupada put out there. His whole agenda was, let's please Prabhupada, let's make the movement grow. And that's what I really appreciate about it very much. I personally like the idea of growth and expansion. Numbers have always been important for him. Books distributed, temples to be open, devotees made. We're all talking about numerical realities. And so now with this passing, we just want to honor him in a way that is very appropriate for someone who's passed and has contributed so much to the world. So reflections, taking some time to recall the wonderful things he's done, and just memories, acknowledgements. It's the kind of approach that we want to take in circumstances like this. So it is a loss, but I would like to say it's also a celebration because, you know, he's on his way to a better situation than most of us are, and so we can be happy for him. He's got a promotion, let's say, and closer to Krishna, really. And I would just like to say that my life has been enriched, you know, in his company in many ways. So I want to personally thank Maharaj for being there to help us in multiple ways, and for me personally, and for a whole lot of us who are in management roles in ISKCON. So he's very respected, and he's done beautiful things, and we just want to keep him in our minds and our hearts and memories for a long time until we go. We'll always, when his name comes up, we'll always be thinking about his great accomplishments and achievements. So thank you very much for listening. There's a lot to be said about great souls, but we have a limited time. And I hope that the next few days we'll all dedicate ourselves to a concentrated effort with intensity to glorify His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have another offering from His Holiness Goswami. It's an audio offering. So let's go to play that next.
Express our love and support and our appreciation and our condolences for the phenomenally great seva that Gopal Krishna Maharaj has given the world. He did more, you know, in this one devotee, Gopal Krishna Maharaj did more than what 100 other devotees can do. And he really took Srila Prabhupada's message to heart, and he printed like millions of books and had millions of books translated in different languages and got them all distributed and wrote so many temples. So please, as my representative, reach out and touch the hearts of any Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciples that you may know, because there are a lot of people who are going to have very sad hearts today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. We'll now ask His Grace Shulas Prabhu to give his offering. He is one of the most senior disciples of Gopal in Toronto, and obviously he's known Maharaj for a very, very long time. So I'll let him speak about his interactions and relationship, and whatever else he wants to speak about Maharaj.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pachane Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pachata Nirtane Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I try to speak, but it is very, very hard. Can't you understand how we are feeling after
personal association, and I knew of him in 1968. It was 1968, Gopal Krishna joined Prabhupada in Montreal, and we started going the same year in the Toronto ISKCON Temple. And our family is so close to him. Asharata, Meenakshi, Resh, everybody met him. He came to our house so many times. We visited him all over, in Vrindavan, everywhere else, the qualities and doing what he did. All the other devotees will speak. But I give you what our personal association was with him. It was 1975 in Vrindavan. I'm with Prabhupada sitting down. We're talking to Prabhupada. Prabhupada says in Punjabi and Hindi. He says in Hindi to me, and I tell you, well, he said, I have another Punjabi disciple. You want to meet him? I could not say no. Because his name is Gopal Krishna in Delhi. So that's where the association started. Then of course, it continued on in Toronto, in Montreal, in US, and in Delhi, Vrindavan, and all over the place. And his accomplishment is so much. So we're talking about him, but we should take something with us. 56 years of selfless service, in spite of sickness, health, and everything. And we should learn something from him, that he has served and all his disciples to serve him. And there's some of the pastime, it will be interesting. Maharaj'S is here. One time, Maharaj is ready to give a lecture, and at that time in 80s he had a danda with him. And he tried to put the danda every time. And he had to go, and the danda kept falling. And he said, Subhavilas, could you hold this danda? And here she comes, he pulls me away, don't you touch it. So everybody laughed at Maharaj. Whenever I see him, he remembers that incident there. And there's so many other pastime. Indresh, he'll speak maybe later on if he likes to. He has been so much associated with the TOVP temple, very close to Maharaj. Now look at how close, how humble he was. About over 30 years ago, Maharaj keep coming to Toronto, but he come to Toronto, and then after a couple of weeks in USA, and he goes back to Delhi. And at that time, we decided with our family that we should do the installation of Radha Shyam Sundar at our house. Maharaj had just gone to Delhi, and I called him, and he said, Subhavilas, what is wrong with you? I was just there. I just landed in Delhi. How can I come? I said, Maharaj, you have to come. Without you, no installation. So he just had 2-3 days rest, and he flew all the way back to Toronto to do the installation. This was the mood of the God brothers. He was so kind. And here, I give you an example. The last time he was here, he said, so like, show me, we go to the Govinda boutique. So we went together. And he always, all the pictures you see with me, is holding my hand and I'm holding his hand. And then we walk. And he tightened my hand. And I said, Mother, क्या बात है? What is wrong? He said, we fall both up together. And so that was his kind way of thinking. And always serving Prabhupada. Always. Otherwise, person says, oh, my legs are hurting, I should take rest, I should do this. No. Always. I saw Vrindavan, wherever I went, always on the go. So, we should appreciate his service day after day. And he had done so much all over the world. Traveling is not that easy, but he has done it. So we should all pray to him that we can learn something from him, that get some blessings, so we can not
100% what he was doing. Even you get 1% of what he was doing, our life will be successful. I was reading one of his comments. He says, you know, miracle, you don't need any miracle. Srila Prabhupada made such a simple thing. He said, chant 16 rounds and have prashadam and go back to Godhead. And this is the instruction for Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, now once I say it, please put your hands up. And first we said Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki jai, then Srila Prabhupada ki. Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki. So many people, I'm louder than you are. Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada giving Gopal Krishna such a nice example ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very good. So emotional. Yes, so much association with him. So it's very, very hard today for us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll just not say anything. So, yeah, he was very close to us, very affectionate, very kind, always so nice to us, making jokes. As he told, he used to make a joke with me that, so I will ask you to take the sannyas. I said, no Maharaj, no, we should take sannyas. He will give me that time, no Maharaj. Every time when I see me, he will take the same joke. He should take sannyas. There's so many past times, he has told you, I just, Hare Krishna.
Very emotional. Some other day we can talk with him more. Very good.
Thank you, Shubhadas Prabhu, Rasladha Mataji. We much appreciate your honoring Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So we continue with that thing, but I received a message from one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu, so obviously my spiritual master's godbrother. And he realizes how much we, the disciples, are suffering. So he sent a very wonderful note that I want to share with you all. So this is basically us, the disciples, telling us how to accept what is happening. So this note is addressed to all of us, disciples of Maharaj. As disciples of Srila Gopal, we understand your immediate pain of separation from the Guru and his spiritual father. We offer our support during this difficult time. In time, you will come to understand that your service and your relationship with him are more intimate and tangible. This is the magic of the spiritual life. He did so much from Srila Prabhupada's book distribution, opening temples, managing zones, and personally encouraging multitudes of devotees. He will be greatly missed. You can only try to live up to his expectations. He is now serving Srila Gopal and Krishna more intimately, and we can take comfort from this realization. More service and association with devotees are only sure. We are here for you, Krishnadas Kaviraj. Thank you so much, Krishna Kaviraj. This Prabhu is a member of regional governing body, and his wife is
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami ki. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami ki. So His Holiness Bhakti Mark Swami is traveling in Cincinnati right now. Mother Praharna and Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu are both out of town. So as the youngest member of the board, I'd like to go over and offer from all of us our dandavats at his feet of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. He has a very special place, not only in Toronto, not only in Canada, but all ISKCON. He single-handedly built so many temples, made so many disciples, and they say the sunrise is very beautiful, and today there's a sunset. But the sunrise is with all his disciples tomorrow morning. The sun is going to rise, and all the thousands of disciples
that he's made, and his Vani, his instructions are going to continue to expand ISKCON. And he left it all on the field. They say a soldier, he was the ultimate soldier for Srila Prabhupada, and he left it on the field. To the last moment, everyone was begging him, take rest, watch your health. No, he was a warrior that kept serving Prabhupada till the last moment. And today is very emotional. And right before coming, I read the will. And I was strong in the guy, Kishore has a great crime. Sorry. And when I read the will, he left everything sure, everything is fine. And everything from this, he had no material assets. One watch, he gave instruction for his clothes to give it to his disciples, and his deities to be served in ISKCON temples. But he gave everything. When copyright, everything belongs to ISKCON. So he gave everything to ISKCON to the last minute, and now his actual body, he's left right. His body is in Vrindavan, will be in Vrindavan. So everything, heart, soul, mind, body, is all with us, and we give it all to ISKCON. And we should be very proud that we have watched from Maharaj. Sorry. There's a personal touch. For years, I started after getting mercy from all the devotees. I was chasing the business life. And after many years, I was in Delhi in business, and I decided to go to Vrindavan. And I decided to go to Vrindavan, and in the morning, I went to Krishna Balaram temple without Vaishnava clothes. I wanted to go to see Krishna Balaram. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj started doing Guru Vandana in the morning. It's the Guru Puja. And during Guru Puja, he just was about to start, and he saw me, and he held my hand, not for 10 seconds, but for like 2 minutes. I was almost embarrassed with all his disciples and such are saying, what's going on? I mean, it's Guru Puja time. And he held my hand, and he recognized me. It was so wonderful after so many years. And then a few years ago, we were traveling, and we saw these big billboards in Ludhiana, Punjab. They have a huge Rath Yatra. And we were traveling with our small kids, and with our kids, we were, again, not in Vaishnava clothes, we were in jeans, etc. And at that Rath Yatra, there's like 50,000 people, huge. And once Rath Yatra breaks, there's actually literally slippers and such on the ground. It's such a rush. There's so many people. And all of a sudden, we're standing on the sideline, and Gopal Krishna Maharaj starts making a beeline towards us. And he goes out there and says, why are you here? How are you here? In that big of a crowd. So he was very attentive, very personable. Recently, in the last visit, we were dealing with some issues. Maharaj was the ultimate manager, but he always kept it Krishna conscious, always kept it personable. And we're very fortunate to have had this association. And the association continues. Again, Vapu's gone, and Vani continues. Please, please, please serve him. Serve him by going out there and doing what he asked us to do. And that is to go out there and serve cooperatively, serve ISKCON together in harmony. And thank you very much. As holy as Gopal Krishna Goswami ki! As holy as Gopal Krishna Goswami ki!
Thank you, Krishna. As Prabhu was saying, Maharaj was a very loving person. He had so much love for not just Srila Prabhupada, but all his godbrothers, sisters, his disciples, other devotees, and he really touched the heart of everyone he met. And in evidence of that, today I want to show you is a devotee who is not a disciple of Guru Maharaj, so that's the Maharaj, but he lives in Ottawa. He drove all the way from Ottawa this afternoon to be here to attend this function, and I can invite him. Mother, please come and say a few words.
Krishna. Firstly, I would like to thank the ISKCON Toronto Temple Council for regularly inviting Maharaj here, and also Maharaj's disciples who've been serving him affectionately, so that Maharaj could come and give his personal association. This is how I was able to get Maharaj's blessings and association through his disciples. As most of us here already mentioned about Maharaj's qualities, he's definitely a Prabhupada man, rock solid determination in sadhana, very compassionate. So yesterday I was just reflecting on what kind of personality he is. So one thing struck what I read in school, I think it's Kabir Das Dohe or Sur Das. It says, "Vriksh kabu nehi phal bakai, nadi na sanchay nehi, paramarth ke karne sadhu darashali." So basically it translates like, the tree gives out a lot of fruits, but none of the fruit is for the tree, never eats its own fruit. Similarly, the river does not drink any of its water, it's for the other living entities. Similarly, sadhu like His Holiness Gopal Maharaj, they don't take birth for themselves, they are here to actually help others and give them back. So it's through ISKCON Toronto, I got this blessing of His mercy through His disciples, so for which I'm very grateful. Just to give one example of His compassion, this is what I heard from all the audio lectures. So there was one incident in India where the devotee was in a service where he has to manage money, and it happened that he actually stole the money from the temple. Usually what happens in general, you let the devotee take away service. But Maharaj, he called him and asked, "You took the money from the temple, and why?" Then the Prabhu said, "I have 2 daughters, I have to get them married, so I need some money. Please forgive me, Maharaj, for what happened." And Maharaj said, "How much are you getting your salary?" He named it was like 15,000. He called the temple management and said, "This devotee should get 25,000 from next month." And he got a promise that, "Please don't steal money from them." So this is one of the many qualities that Maharaj had. He was very compassionate. He never took services away even though the devotee is not so doing well. So we can all reflect on his qualities so that we can also imbibe in our own lives, and that way we can also serve him. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to now introduce you to a very special guest. It's none other than the niece of Zoya Gopal Maharaj, Vidya Mataji. She's here. So please come and say a few words.
Hare Krishna. This is quite emotional. He is, Maharaj is my mother's brother. So I've known him my whole life. Right? And I live here in Toronto. But growing up in India, we called him Hare Krishna Mamaji. That's who he was to us. So I have so many childhood memories with him, with my mom. And we spent a lot of time with him at the ISKCON temple in Juhu in Bombay, because we grew up in Bombay. And then when I told him I was getting married and moving to Toronto, he said, "Oh, there's a beautiful ISKCON temple in Toronto, you must go." And it is so beautiful, and honestly, all of you being here today, thank you so much. I will share this with my mom. She's in Delhi right now, and she will go to Vrindavan tomorrow. But we've met him here many times when he used to come, usually August or so. Sometimes he used to say, "I'm here," so we used to come and meet him. And he's come to my home when I had my son, who's now 14. When he was a baby, he came home, and my mother was there, and also their older sister. She was also visiting. So they all 3 were there, and my son was a baby, and it was a blessing. He came to our house, which was an incredible honor. But yeah, I met him last August when he was here in Toronto, and that was any interaction with him was so precious, was so special. He was so much to so many all over the world. I remember visiting him once. My mom's sister who lives in Italy, so So we were there, and he was getting ready to go to Russia at the time, and he had brought these Russian cards to learn Russian. In the middle of all this, while he was traveling, he was learning Russian so he could talk to everybody there in Russian when he went there for the tour. I think to inaugurate the temple. But anyway, he was incredible. He remembered everything about us. We saw him every year, every few years, sometimes more than once a year. He was at my wedding. He, on my mom's side in Punjab, they do the chura ceremony, with triangles. And so he did that for me. So very special. I have so many memories. I don't want to talk for too long, but I really appreciate the opportunity and the honor to talk. I just came here. I was sitting at the back. It's very emotional, but I'm sure you can hear my heart beating through the microphone very fast. But thank you all for being here, Hare Krishna. And this is really, I think, I probably will think of more things I could have said, but to me, he was my Mamaji. I know he was so much to the world, but he, as a person, he was brilliant. He remembered everything about everyone, all our family. Every time I would meet him, he would ask me about this, and are you at the same house, and what about this, and what about that, and I remember at one point I used to work at IBM, and he would introduce me to his devotees and disciples from IBM. He said, they can give you great advice. I mean, he remembered everything about everyone, and he is an incredible person. So, thank you. Sorry if I talk too much. But thank you so much for being here. Really, our family really appreciates it.
Thank you so much, Gopal. It's really very special to hear from you, and I'm glad you came here to speak to us. She was talking about Guru Maharaj's memory, and I can tell you he has probably more than 15,000 disciples. He knows everybody's name, their family, their children's name, what they do, everything. So amazing memory. So we're going to finish this program, this part of the program today, by singing bhajan. It's very appropriate for today's occasion, and that is sung in appreciation of departed pure Vaishnavas. I'm going to ask Alida Priya to sing that hymn, and after that there will be a class by His Grace Chaitanya Charan, who is arrived here from Mumbai, and that's about at 8 o'clock. We'll have the Aarti then, and then thank you.